Hello, all of my amazing subscribers and viewers. Welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot for March 19th. Okay, so I finally got around to reading the messages from the last video. So thank you so much. All of the good wishes, all of the prayers, the good thoughts, all of it really cheered me up today and gave me some hope. I'll tell you why. We did the inspection of the property on Wednesday night, and it was such an epic failure. It wasn't even funny. Everything that was wrong with it was something that you couldn't see, like foundation and the wiring, the plumbing. So I obviously had to pull out of that deal. So as of right now, I have kind of 10 or 12 days to move. Not exactly sure where I'm going. But I'm only panicking a little bit because I am really well aware of how powerful your energy is when you send it to me. I've had several examples. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know, where you guys have just blasted me with good wishes, and it's amazing how things have just miraculously turned out, or just turned out really better than expected. So Nova's only a little concerned that he's going to have a house to live in at the end of the month. Okay, so I'm going to do this and listen, right before I finish, I know you guys are going to flood me with that energy again. I am humbled. I am grateful. I so appreciate it. And if it takes me a little bit of time to get to your comments, just bear with me because I'm kind of busy. So I'm going to do some yes/no pendulum questions because I did ask for some questions a couple of videos ago. And then I want to take a look at Alan Weisselberg, eh? That's an interesting situation there. Nova, you do not belong on the mantle. Get down. Sorry for people who get distracted by my cats. Again, this is my life right now. Okay, so okay, so here we go. Okay, so it's ready to talk. As most of you know, back and forth is yes, round and round is no. Here we go. First question, do Pelosi and Biden have a good working relationship? Yes. Okay, so we may as well ask the next question. Do Chuck Schumer and Biden also have a good, strong working relationship? Yes, they do. They absolutely do. Okay, good. Somebody wanted to know if the U.S. economy was going to collapse. Now, asking sort of such a broad, sweeping question like that is you're going to not get consistency or clarity on the answer. So I'm going to sort of nail that down a little bit to say, is the U.S. economy going to rally as more and more people become vaccinated and things can open up? Is there going to be like some recovery there? Yes. Is it going to be a false recovery, like sort of inflated? No. Are there going to be, small setbacks, market adjustments, that kind of thing to actually strengthen the economy? Are there going to be things in place that actually almost prevent it from really doing a big nosedive? Yes. Okay, now I'm not saying there aren't going to be some downturns. I am not a financial advisor, but it looks as if, certainly in the shorter term, as the recovery efforts continue from COVID, it looks like there's going to be, a stabilization so people can kind of, plan, I guess, feel a little bit more secure. Somebody wanted to know if I guess the FBI are going to locate the person who planted the bombs at the DNC and the RNC. That's a big yes. Okay. And somebody wanted to know if that person was female. Let's see. Is that person female? Looks like a no. Okay. Is Mark Meadows going to end up in jail for trying to reverse the votes in Georgia? Is he going to like literally end up in jail as a result of that? No. So then the next question is, does he face any ramifications from that, any negative ramifications from that? And that looks like a yes. Somebody wanted to know how soon we will see Trump held accountable. So energetically, the answer to that is, oh, you know, give it a couple more months and it'll really start. And then it's just going to go on for years and years. But let's just sort of ask the question this way. Is Trump likely to start having to really, really face the music for past actions within the next 3 months? Yes. Okay. Somebody wanted to know if Trump was going to be able to continue to live as a resident at Mar-a-Lago. That's a no. That's a no. Now, I got to tell you, you know, I mean, he is still fairly strong in Florida. So it'll be curious to see if, you know, I don't know, is that a county, a city, whatever the area is where Mar-a-Lago is located. Are they really, really going to push to sort of get him gone? Or is something else going to happen that might cause Trump to need? I mean, apparently he has a house like half a block down the road or something, right? So I think that situation really feels in flux. But as of right now, this feels as if he's not going to be able to make it his permanent residence going forward. Oh, somebody wanted to know that when Mitch McConnell leaves, will he be replaced by another Republican? So I'm not sure how that would work. I don't know if they would hold an election right away or they would put somebody in place until his term is up. But, so I'm going to phrase the question this way. Ultimately, is McConnell's Senate seat going to be occupied by a Democrat when McConnell leaves? So yes. So even if they put a Republican in place until the end of the term, then the next election there will be, at this point anyways, a Democrat in place. Somebody wanted to know about Andrew Cuomo, and is he going to survive some of the attacks that he is currently going through? That's looking like a no. But you know what? That person asked a follow-up question that was really interesting. She wanted to know, I think it was a she, sorry. She wanted to know if Roger Stone was part of the orchestration, if he was involved somehow in the timing of these attacks and the releasing them, the exposure of them. Yeah, so it looks like he may have his dirty, sticky fingers right in there. So that's curious to know. Somebody wanted to know if the monarchy is likely to survive. All right, now it's getting a very small yes. Energetically, I can tell you I'm hearing the words modified. So I don't know what that means, but energetically, I can tell you that once Elizabeth leaves the throne, the monarchy is going to undergo some significant transitions and shifts. That's what I know. Will the Democrats win enough seats in the midterm elections to hold or increase both the Senate and the House? That looks like a yes. I mean, people should never, ever underestimate the political goodwill that Biden is accumulating. as a result of the rollout. I saw something yesterday, and I'm probably going to get the numbers wrong, but I saw a little blurb where he was saying that I think it's 56 or 57 days since he's taken office, and his promise of 100 million vaccinations within the first 100 days is going to be realized like within the next day or two. So he accomplished that super big goal. And frankly, something that, under that previous Yahoo really felt impossible. Like there was just not a way in heaven that was going to happen. So he's strong. And despite, the Republicans yammering, they're losing political capital as opposed to where he's gaining it. Speaking of which, I want to know if things are going to really heat up with Putin, or is Putin maybe just going to back down a little bit from the United States? Is he going to pull back now that Biden is in office? Yes. Now, don't think for a minute that means he's going to, go join a choir and be a good boy. But it means, I think, he's going to pull back or retreat a little bit, certainly at a time and in a way so that he can save face. But it looks like ultimately Biden's going to be able to sort of clamp down on him a little bit. Somebody wants to know if McConnell ultimately will take any responsibility for the ruin of the Republican Party. Nope. Not a one. And does he have actually any regrets, or will he have any regrets when he leaves? Doesn't look like that either. Nope. So this is the thing. Energetically, McConnell is like so proud of stacking those courts. He really does consider that it was his quest, okay? And as far as he's concerned, he succeeded in it. One other thing to remember when it comes to McConnell and him leaving office in the Republican Party, from what I understand, McConnell is so politically savvy. Like he is just very, very clever and smart about manipulating the rules, making things work in his favor. Certainly you saw that under the Obama administration. You saw that under the Trump administration when he just blocked everything, right? So the thing is, though, is when McConnell leaves, I don't think that there's anybody in the party who can actually step up and kind of take his place with the same, I almost want to say same degree of cold ruthlessness, okay? So I think when McConnell leaves, there's actually going to be some real upheaval within the party because, either probably what's going to happen as I'm reading it now is it looks like that sort of whole Trumpian group of people. It feels as if they're going to sort of start kind of trying to take control of the party, but I don't know that there's anybody who actually has the savvy to be able to harness that control and make it work. So we shall see about that. Is Josh Hawley going to be accountable for his actions connected to the insurrection? That's a strong yes. It sure is. And how about Ted Cruz? Is he also going to be held accountable? It looks like ultimately, yes, he will. Somebody wanted to know if there was going to be more stimulus money coming out after this March. And congratulations, you guys. All that money started to flow again. I'm sure a whole bunch of you are just taking at least a little bit of a deep breath because there has been some relief. So I'm thrilled for you. I really, really am. It was an awful long time coming. So is there going to be more money flowing forward? Yes. But I have to tell you again, energetically, it feels a little bit like, I don't know, like maybe it'll be reduced, maybe they'll, because people are going to start returning to work. And yes, there are some jobs that are just forever gone. But as more and more people return to the workplace and things continue to get strong, particularly in terms of business, like in terms of retail and people going to restaurants and that kind of thing, it feels like the government is going to be there supporting, but it feels like it's going to pull back just a little bit because, frankly, as things start recovering, fewer people are going to need, I guess, as intense help or as consistent help. So I also had two questions that are Canadian, more so. So the first question was, in Alberta, is the United Conservative Party, who is currently in office, are they actually going to get reelected? Okay, that's like a really big no. And honestly, lots and lots of us are thrilled and hope that this is absolutely accurate. Does that mean that the NDPs are likely to become reelected again? Is that going to be the next party? Yeah, okay. So, and then the other question was somebody wants some information on the Canadian vaccine rollout because it is not going as well as the US one. I mean, I don't know whether that's because we just have less buying power because we are, 33 million approximately, as opposed to 330 million. I'm not sure, but there's definitely been some fits and starts. I did do a reading a little while ago where I said it's going to be bumpy, but it really is going to smooth out and it's going to get moving forward in a way that is going to smooth out and really, really start to move forward. So can we anticipate continued improvement in the vaccine rollout here in Canada? Yes. Can we anticipate that by July? A significant amount of the population that wants to be vaccinated will be vaccinated. So yes. And I don't know, for those of you who follow it or don't, apparently just the other day, like yesterday maybe, the United States is sending, I'm not sure if it's a couple of million or 1.5 million, but they're sending um, COVID vaccine to Canada. And they're doing it on a borrowing basis. So I'm thinking that because we're having trouble getting the quantities we need fast enough and the United States has them, I think the idea is they're going to ship some of them us. And then when we start getting our surplus in, we'll send it back to the United States, probably in time for a lot of people's second injection. I think. I'm not no politician, but that's what it feels like. So ultimately, by the fall time, let's say, can we anticipate sort of North America being, on the road to recovery? Okay. And one more question about the COVID variants. They seem to be gaining some strength. So I guess my just general question with those is the current vaccine going to be sufficient to at least minimize the explosion of some of those variants? And that's looking like a yes. Okay, so this is what we know right now about that. Let's take a look at Alan Weisselberg. I don't know if any of you saw it, but it is actually what inspired this reading. I think it was on CNN yesterday. They were interviewing, the former daughter-in-law. She was married to Weisselberg's son. That son was the guy, if I'm not mistaken, who was dealing with the skating rink in New York. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he, had his own consulting company or whatever that was sort of contracted out to deal with that, but that's that connection. And she made some very interesting statements. She said, first of all, Weisselberg knows where every single body is buried. He would be the very, very best person to talk to in terms of, what exactly went on there. Nobody knows if Weisselberg has been offered immunity. I know that I think way back, it feels like that he was offered immunity for something, but I think it was only for something limited or from one specific agency. So that, and I mean, no one's sure exactly if if he was one of the people that Trump maybe had issued a blanket pardon to that nobody knows about. I don't know. We'll see if the cards can tell us. But she also said that Weisselberg, like, lived his whole life was about, what does Trump want? What is Trump thinking? What do I need to do sort of to keep Trump happy? That literally has been his existence. And frankly, that's kind of sad. Just my opinion, but you know, oopsie. Okay, let's see what's flying here, shall we? Sorry, as you can tell, I'm repositioned. And so where I'm at in my room here is a little more awkward than normal. Okay, so it was the Three of Swords that flew out. So I have a feeling that maybe not so much. Maybe not so much. Is things gonna go well for him? And again, like every single other person that Trump associates with, they end up being ruined. And frankly, seems to me that Weisselberg has had a hell of a long run of being able to do what he did. So let's see. I'm probably not going to be able to move my camera down. It's at a funny angle where I'm at. But I will show you the cards. And I know lots of people really like to look at the cards. And I apologize. But again, desperate times, desperate measures. Here we go. Okay, so tell me about Alan Weisselberg. Tell me about Alan Weisselberg. Tell me about Alan Weisselberg. I'd say come down, but okay, I'm going to bring him down just because, you know, you can't fake this stuff. Come on down. Okay, so you got the Death card here, first and foremost. And then you have these three wands. You have the Three of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. And to me, this is all talking about communications, conversations, documentations, emails, anything like that. And so it feels as if not only does he have a lot of information, but it very much feels like he's going to have to blab some of this information. He really is the keeper of the secrets. And it feels as if there's going to be some definite, how do I want to say this? Some definitely some endings, some cycles that are completing, and definitely a sense that he's going to actually need to be a little bit more open, perhaps, and more forthcoming than he has been. Now, his daughter-in-law, whose name I don't remember, she apparently has been talking to, I guess it's the Southern District of New York. She's been talking, she has had several conversations with them. So they have a lot of stuff that I presume even Weisselberg's not sure that they have. Apparently the divorce between her and Weisselberg's son was not a friendly one, and apparently somewhere along the way she lost custody of her children and she's fighting to get them back. So it feels, and you know what? It doesn't feel like this is a case where she was somehow incompetent or she wasn't a good mom. It very much feels like this was like retaliation. This was a power play. This was a, we can do it because we can do it to you and we're going to do it to you. That's sort of the energy around that situation. Yeah. Oh my. Okay. So Weisselberg knows a lot. He's going to have to start talking. He's probably never, ever going to spill everything. And in a way, you know, let's hope so. Because if he doesn't, they're going to have enough, like Cy Vance, all the other investigations, they're going to have enough to figure out what the heck is going on there or what went on there. But if he doesn't come completely clean, that means that he's not going to, any wrongdoing. He is not going to, there's not going to be any mitigation, right? I mean, it's going to sort of like the same thing with Michael Cohen, right? Where he told them a lot of stuff, but because he wouldn't basically turn on every single person he knows, you know, they weren't lenient with him. and it feels kind of like the same thing. Weisselberg is very, very concerned about, interesting, feels like he's not only concerned about the Trumps, but it feels like he is concerned about associations with other people that were involved, with other, I'm not sure, but the card is literally indicating, it's almost like he's not being scared of being stabbed in his back once. It's like he seems to be running for cover from several different places. So be interesting to see what that actually ends up like looking like. Things are going to start moving fairly quickly when it comes to information about Trump's finances and the role that he played, that Weisselberg played in terms of hiding them, distorting them, embellishing them, rearranging them. Now that those 8 years of documents are in the hands of the investigators, Weisselberg, frankly, has a lot of explaining to do. And he is going to be very, very torn about how much he sort of gives up. And I got to tell you, at this point, it almost feels as if in some way, Alan is waiting to see what happens to Trump, because as long as there is sort of any indicators that Trump could still protect him, that Trump still might have the power, that Trump still wants to keep him under his wing, it's going to be very, very hard for him to turn his back on that family. But if it looks like the big guy, the idiot guy, is crumbling, he may be more than willing to sort of jump ship and save his skin, but it definitely feels like right now he is in a waiting mode. He's trying to ride this out. Now, I gotta say that as things continue to come out, and he's going to end up, people are going to be able to see that he was responsible, I guess, for facilitating a lot of the wrongdoing that was demanded by that family. I'm trying to really minimize my use of the word you-know-who, but I haven't quite settled on a way to identify him yet, so I'm still fiddling around with it. But I have to say, when it is all said and done, it feels as if almost like there's going to be a little bit of grace bestowed on him. So I sort of, right now anyways, I'm getting the feeling that it's going to be not like he's going to, if he ends up being indicted, he's going to be found guilty. I'll say that. But it feels as if at some point when it comes to the sentencing itself, there's going to be some sort of leniency that takes place, possibly because he's old. And, are they going to really, really throw this guy into jail for 25 years when, who knows what his life expectancy is? I don't know. I'm not saying it's fair or just. I'm just saying at this point, energetically, it looks as if there might be some lenience sort of at the back end of this. But ultimately, yeah, it's not good. He's going to try to hold on to whatever he can, the information, his own assets, whatever it is. I see it being a very difficult journey ahead for him. Ultimately, the government is going to get what they want. They're going to get the information they want, and they're going to be able to move forward. And they really are going to have a good way of exploring that partnership and literally all the sneaky stuff that was done. Okay. So it looks like Weisselberg is in for a bit of a bumpy ride. And so that's where we're going to leave it right now. I can make no promises or expectations for when you will see me next. Hopefully I will surface sometimes next week, at least once or twice. I'm going to thank you in advance for all of the amazing well wishes I know you are sending me at this moment. And I'm so grateful for them. And just keep positive thoughts, because I'm positive I'm going to end up in the right place. I'm just not exactly sure where that right place is at the moment. All right. Until next time, take care. Be well. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.